Hi, it's the 15th of September 2018 at 11:15 a.m. Okay, let's get something out in the open straight up. I am at odds with a lot of mgtow and have been the whole time. I've had countless debates about the fact that what women have as human nature or female nature, and that's the end of the story. It's all about women. I I really don't know what female nature is anymore, to be honest. I don't even know what male nature is. What is it, basically, underneath it all? You know, we're so filled with everything that's happening in the world, I don't think any of us know. But this is where I do have this basic dispute. And I against narcissism. I don't hate women. I don't even dislike women. I hate narcissism, and I'm unapologetic about it. I can't stand it, all right? The hypocrisy of it really gets to me. It just gets right up my nose. So if I hate anything, it's narcissism. It's in epidemic proportions. And what's worse is the whole nature of it is changing. I follow all the commentators on it. Yeah, it's now changing. It's taking on a whole new form. You're going to hate it. It's actually worse. It's becoming worse. And it bothers me. It really bothers me. Because in comment after comment, and in thread after thread, I see the same comments. You know, they just want us for our money. They just want us for our resources. They just want us for this. And it's just not the case. It might be in a third world country. Right? They need you if they don't have any social safety net. Women in the West really don't need you because they can survive without your resources. Yeah, your resources might make their life better. You know, they can team up with you, buy a better house and that sort of thing. And maybe they can rip more than their fair share out of you. Yep, I agree with all of that. That is possibly happening. But by and large, they don't need you for your money or your resources. Yeah, they might want it, but they don't need it. What they need, increasingly, is something called narcissistic supply. And this is and until you start seeing this, and I'm not saying all women are narcissists, and I'm not saying that it's a club exclusively for women, because it used to be and probably still is. You know, majority of men are narcs, or a lot of them are. Not the majority, but yeah, and you'll find that they're the people who get to the top. They don't care, they're callous, they're cruel, they step on people, no compassion whatsoever. And there's something about narcissism that allows them to suppress their own feeling, pain, that sort of thing. So it helps people drive themselves and don't just go higher and higher. Women are now exploiting that. Women are onto the thing as well, and they too are, climbing that ladder of things. So what's going to happen here is you're going to have narcissists coming out of the woodwork from everywhere. They're being made by the bucket load by the day. And it's narcissists that you guys hate. I know. Because every one of my last 6 or 7 videos has been aimed specifically at narcissism, and you've lapped it up. You've gone to it. You've just gone, yeah, gimme. Yeah, I want to know about this narcissism. I can see it. But getting back to this narcissistic supply, the thing that they want. And I have to tell you this because it's a confusing, concept when you first come across it. You think, what do you mean narcissistic supply? You know, it's something about it. It's just, and you don't want to know about it because it's too vague, too stupid, and it's only for 4% of the population, isn't it? Yeah, think again. 4%. Narcissistic supply is like, think of it this way. You've got an alcoholic. What does an alcoholic need? What does an alcoholic need in their life? That is what the alcoholic needs. Alcohol. This isn't actually alcohol, it's coffee syrup, but it looks like it. So, yeah, I thought that's what I have. That's the only looking. So, yeah, that's what they need. That stuff. And why do they need it? Well, it makes them feel good, doesn't it? having a drink. You know, that time you have a drink, another drink, you know, feeling pretty good in my head here, you know, comfortably numb, what all this just now. And let's be honest, yeah, life's good, isn't it? It's better when you're drunk or getting a bit merry. And you're pretty cool, aren't you? You know, you have these images of yourself, you know, the nice suit, or however you're a tough guy, whatever you want to be, you know, having the bourbon. Yeah, that's it. You're really just, you know, you at home watching movies, you know, having a few bourbons, keeping the bourbon company going. But no, in your mind, suddenly you're cool. Come on, let's be honest. Yeah, I mean, there's all sorts of stuff like that going on inside your head. You know, you're not drinking it for the nice taste of it. You're drinking it for the euphoria, for this sort of, I want to feel good, I want to feel something. I don't know what it is exactly. I mean, you know, that's what it is though. So what's narcissistic supply? Yeah, okay. So this is the thing with alcoholism. Yeah, it's no problem. You can see it. Yeah, you can see the bottle. You know, they're hiding it. And yeah, you go and find this, stuff down the back of a toilet or something. Yep, they're an alcoholic. They're drinking it every day, 7 days a week. Yeah, you're up there for, classified as an alcoholic. Not hard to spot. Plus, they can do tests on it. They can say, "Oh no, your liver function is, going through the roof here. No, you got a problem off to detox for you." Yep, that's bad. Didn't always used to be bad. You go back a few years, alcoholism was considered, pretty cool. Glamorised in all the movies. And it was, they didn't show the seedy side of it, they showed the glamour side of it. Well, of course they did, because, alcohol companies wanted to make money out of it. So, yeah, like cigarette companies, they'd sponsor the movie to some extent. And to get their product up on screen, in this nice, cool environment. So, yeah, it was considered a few years ago, you have a drink. Daily. What's now considered an alcohol? You're an alcoholic if you're drinking daily. It was promoted, encouraged. In fact, I'm pretty certain doctors even used to suggest it. At that times have changed because people can see it now. I can see it for what it is. I can see the damage. And it's taken that long. It's taken a long time for that to happen. But nobody can see narcissism. Where is it? I mean, it's everywhere. But where? And what's this narcissistic supply you're talking about? Well, in its simplest form, narcissistic supply is adulation. The attention that you guys say attention whores. That's what they want. Give me the attention. Oh, you're pretty. Oh God, nice. Oh, you're so pretty. You're such a nice person. Everything. What do you think Pal Talk's made up of? They've got all the camera is there, and the narcs come on and click it on. And all the guys swoon and lay in front of them. Oh, you're so beautiful, and they actually say this. Oh, just so gorgeous, such and such. Oh, and for years I used to sit there and think, what do the girls get out of this? I know what guys get. I know how a man thinks, but what are the women doing? They're just, and it was so obvious I couldn't see it. It was right there in plain sight. Yeah, it's the adoration. I mean, let's face it. When somebody says to you, "Oh, gee, you're a really good guy," how do you feel? Like what? Like a piece of piss? A piece of shit? No, you feel good, don't you? And they tell you again, "Oh, you're a really, really good guy, really." Now, if you're normal, if you're not a narc, you'll say, yeah, okay, enough's enough. Yep, thanks. Yep, I appreciate it, but yeah, you don't have to go overboard. But how come women can go into into a chat site like Pal Talk and sit there and have these guys adore them? You're not saying, no, stop it, No, they're not saying anything like that. I never noticed it. Stop. Don't be so silly, I'm just a person. Not once. Never heard it. In years. Nah. I just lapped it up. Just like an alcoholic laps that stuff up. Not coffee syrup, but, alcohol. That's what they do. Just give me. I mean, I don't see guys on the screen and the girls going, "Oh, gee, you're so beautiful." You say, no, none of that. No. It's the other way around. And the guys are there, and oh look, the girls might occasionally notice them and say something, but it's just not the case. No, it's the women. Oh, beautiful, and you get some fat, ugly, thing from somewhere. Oh, he's so beautiful, so oh my God, Father. And that's what you hate. You hate the guys that support them. I think. I don't know. I think this is what you're talking about with PUA. That they're obviously clearly supporting, these women that, so you don't like them. You probably don't know why you don't like them, but that's probably why you don't like them. You dislike, I reckon, you're disliking all the wrong things. It's the bloody narcissism that you should dislike. And that's the thing you've got to be on the lookout for, because it's going to trick you. And I'm going to talk more and more and more about narcissism. If you get bored and leave, well, that doesn't bother me, because I think it's important. None of you actually use the word narcissistic supply, which tells me most of you don't know anything about it. You haven't really researched it. You haven't looked into it. You're not getting your mind around what the real problem is. I haven't seen one comment on my whole channel where somebody has mentioned narcissistic supply. It's like talking, to a bunch of alcoholics and nobody talks about alcohol. It's crazy. You say, gee, there's a problem here. I don't think these people understand something. And so I'm left, saying, having all these disputes about is it human nature thing. Well, look, it might be in the case. I don't know. I don't really care to a large extent, because I think the main problem is narcissism. That was my problem. And I can point, and I've researched it, looked at it, I can point to everything that happened to me and say, yeah, it's narcissism. All the things I hated were narcissism. And all of it, even the good stuff, was actually a function of narcissism, was an act. And that's the hardest thing. A lot of you guys that I can tell you're broken-hearted, and you've been stung by a narc. I mean, you thought she loved you. You thought you were special. She told you were special. You were this, you were that, and then suddenly she's not interested anymore. Chances are she was signalling, give me back. I'm telling you, you're wonderful because I want you to tell me how wonderful I am. But because you're not a narc, you don't understand that. You're like, huh? You probably grew up, by yourself alone. You didn't, your parents were, okay, so you have a... Right, so you didn't get this swooning over you, this adoration, this, oh my God, you're the most wonderful person in my life. So because you haven't received it, you don't have it to give back. You don't understand the nature of it. No, you just, well, just you, wasn't it? Just get in the back of it, get under the house, basically. Yeah, so you don't understand. You're not on the wavelength. I know, I can tell. In your comments, you're confused. I got a comment yesterday that said, oh, she didn't want companionship in a relationship. I felt like, I know, I was there myself, I felt like going around, she wants narcissistic supply. She wanted this. She shouldn't be wanting it, but you couldn't give it to her. And, a relationship after relationship, you're in the same boat. And you don't know what's going on. It's the trickiest thing, trickiest of conditions. It will fool you every time. Fools me every time. It's like alcoholism. It fools you. Oh no, I'm on the wagon now. I'm not drinking anymore. I've said it myself. And you believe me? Oh, he's given up the booze. Yeah, sure he has. Cheater. Yeah. And you worry about it. If somehow, wow, how did that alcohol get there? Oh my God, I was drunk last night. I won't tell them that because, I've cut down a lot. But don't be fooled by it. Just like narcs. Don't be fooled by them. They'll get you. Yep. So while you're thinking, oh, I just want my money, you're going to run into some sweet little, hi. And I don't want you because, you just want my money. Oh no, and she'll lay out all these reasons why she doesn't need you for money because she's got money. No, I've got my own money. Don't need you for that. So you're very cautious. You keep watching video, mgtow video. Am I doing the right thing here? No, it seems wrong. Yeah. Yep. Oh no, okay, I'll go in with her. Then you realise it's all happening again. She didn't want you for money. No, she had her own money. She was right. She wasn't lying. Yep. She wanted you for this, for the supply that she wants from you. That's what she wanted. But you're thinking it's something else. You're thinking it's, oh, this and this. And she's proven to you that it's not the case. Yeah. And you step right into the trap. Because that's what they do. They trap you. That's what alcohol companies do too. And cigarette companies. They trap you. They get you. And once they've got you hooked, you're hooked for a long time. It costs you a lot of money. And they go to a lot of trouble to present these really pretty pictures of how lovely, what a nice scene it is. They spend a fortune doing that. Millions, billions. Beautiful. Put it in movies, put it on billboards, put it everywhere they can. It's to trap you. It's to hook you. Because once you're hooked, once you're in there, they can extract over years. It's not a one-off purchase. It's not like, you try something, that's it, I won't do that again. Once they've got you thing. And our narcs are the same way. Absolutely exactly the same way. They are out to get you and trap you and snare you. And if you are thinking the trap is some other trap, you will get fooled. And they will have their evil way with you again. And that's what I'm trying, and I'm going to continue. If you don't want to hear it, if you so firmly believe in the belief that it's human nature, fine, then go somewhere else and talk about how horrible women are. But it's not the women, it's the narcissism. And I mean, think about it from the grassroots level. Where does it start? It's daddy's favourite girl. Daddy's girl. Perfect. I had one. I'm guilty. I created one. And then it goes from there to, before you know it, they're looking in the mirror, putting on their makeup. What do you do there? How many guys here put on makeup on a daily basis? Think about it. Do you do it? Or are you like me? You sort of look at your face and think it's still there. Yeah, that'll do. I've cut my hair off. I couldn't give a stuff how I look. If I look a certain way, so long as I don't look too grotesque, that'll do. But am I putting makeup on? Am I doing, the lippies, the mascara, making sure my hair's just right and that sort of thing? Nah, don't do any of that. Never have. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with, if you do take care of your appearance, but to the point where, you go and buy makeup, expensive makeup, cover your face in it. Why? Why would you do that? Think about it. What, to protect yourself from the sun? No, it's within our culture. Yeah, I look so pretty today. I'm so nice. So you spend all this money, what for? Why do you spend money on this? Huh? Why? Because you want to feel good, don't you? At the end of a day or something, you want to feel good. You want to be, let's feel good. Well, this is what your narc does. They spend all this money, make themselves up, buy these pretty dresses and that sort of thing, and sexy outfits and everything. Why? So they can get the adoration, so they can get the narcissistic supply that they want and they need, because they're an addict, like an alcoholic. But that's just one part of narcissistic supply. It gets more in depth than that. It's all sorts of. It gets really confused. But that's for another video. That's where we go next. But that's so. If you want to try and convince me that this is human nature, that women are evil creatures and what have you, fine. I'm sorry. I'm not going. I can't. Look, to begin with, I'm not going to sit up here and say that I hate women. I'll end up in jail. But so I don't believe it. It's the narcissism that I can't stand. It's men that have done it. I'm guilty, with our children. Particularly with the girl children. Well, I only had two girls, but the difference in my two children alone, it's largely dependent on how we were toward the children. The second child, we just didn't have as much time. And we're sort of over the huge rush. But that too is another story, where it all comes from. Because I'll put my hand up and say, I've created one. She's bad. She would be. I don't know. I haven't seen her for 5 years. But she'd be bad. Yeah, I mean, she'd give any of you a run around the block and you wouldn't like her. You know, and she'd do it in a smiling way the whole time. Now, that's my own daughter I'm talking about. And I know where it's all come from. I know what created it, I know what's happened. But I started it. Because I just wanted her to, keep up with everybody else. But she went a bit further than that. And of course what happens is you've got all these faces in your life telling you how wonderful you are, how good you are, how clever you are. See what happens? It's like alcohol. And you need it. Or she'll need it. I feel sorry for her. I feel, I've done the wrong thing. I put my hand up. Yeah, I just thought I was doing the right thing. It turns out I was doing the wrong thing. And that's what you're up against. It does happen to more and more men, but it didn't used to. Men were sort of toughen up. You should be able to handle. That's the whole psychology. That again's another video. All right. That's a whole another story. But that's what I'm on about here about narcissism. I'm not against women. I don't hate them. I don't even dislike them. I even have fun with them on the channel. Okay. Yeah, I know what I hate, and it's not women. It's not people, not humans. It's like an alcoholic. Do you hate the person or do you hate the alcoholism? The person actually no longer exists. They're covered with this, this thing called alcoholism. That's what you're dealing with. And they're all the same. All alcoholics are, they all do much the same sort of thing. Yeah, it's a disease. It's not like the person underneath. They take the alcohol away. They go back to it's like this thing has been taken off them. That's exactly the same as narcissism. Take the narcissism away, and they go back to being, this pleasant enough person. And that too is where they'll get you. But look, that's another video. All right, and we'll get to that later. There's a lot to talk about with this, and I'm sorry, I'm starting to come out of my shell a bit with it. I've sat up here and I've listened to this. No, it says you're wrong, and I'm fighting back. I'm saying no, I don't reckon I am. I think it's bloody narcissism, and it's getting away with murder, and it's fooling all of you. And if some of you at least had said narcissistic supply, I would probably think, oh no, you've got a point. Yeah, okay, maybe you do know what you're talking about, but not one of you have mentioned it. And when you're in the narc world, narcissistic supply is like understanding that. Yeah, that's what it's like. And you'll all get fooled time and time again, until eventually you start looking at videos about narcissism and you go, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. It takes a long time to understand it because it hides itself, and the benefit, a big benefit for me is if in talking to you guys about it, I'll reinforce it in myself, the knowledge and what have you. And isn't that what they say? You learn by teaching others or telling others about something. That's when you really learn about it. That's what I'm hoping will happen here too. Rotten mongrel of a condition, and it's encouraged and fostered. Look, there's a heap of videos in this, and and that's where I'm going to go. And if you don't like it, well, find somebody else. But I mean, this is what is happening. This is what I see is happening. Okay, and this is the thing. It will ruin your life. And the guys that are coming here are not narcs. You're empaths. That's why you're here. And I'll put, just in closing, I'll say one other thing. I've noticed when male narcs, and they use male, come on to the threads, into the platform, into the channel, yeah, the other guys that turn on them, attack them. They'll say things like, "You're not welcome here." These are guys, okay? So that's telling me that the narcissism is the problem, and the guys are saying, you sound like a woman. And narcs do, when they write in comments, they sound like women. They say all the same things, and yet guys hate them, and that's what you hate. Not the men, not the women. You hate the narcissism. That's what you hate. Telling you. Anyway, been good talking to you, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.